I remember Joey in the room because anybody who would ever listen to us would be either in our phases or they're just where we were 2 years ago.
I would feel frustrated. I would feel stupid. I would feel like, why don't you know where the numbers are? Grit, maybe? Yeah, that's a good one. My stubborn grit. I can do this. And don't say no.
I will sell the bed. I will sell the armoire. It's, so it's right.
I'm pretty stubborn inside.
Okay. The idea behind it is if we employed somebody, let's say tomorrow, we would not be feeling the same pain that they're feeling as they come on board.
Yeah.
And the reason also why we wouldn't even be intentionally thinking about it is because we haven't been in their shoes for years. So it's evidence that where we are right now, we might be having different pains and different suffering. And we're suffering right now and we can feel it. And then a year from now, that wouldn't be even a question because we worked through it. We're somewhere else now.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where I want to take us backwards when we all started together. And I want you to think within that, where you were then to where you are now. And when I ask you the questions, reflect on that and let's make this a really good conversation. Because anybody who would ever listen to us would be either in our phases or they're just where we were 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to celebrate your teamwork, what you evolved, because I remember my very first time when we were meeting together, like it was yesterday. Yeah, I remember Joey in the room.
This girl.
I even remember Amy, and everybody like so busy in the background, the big white calendar with shitload all over it. It's just like, and I'm thinking, oh my God. And then I see Becky with and that like, I don't understand those numbers. I don't, and when I speak to you guys today, like when we were in October together, it was so magical to me anyhow. I don't know how much you can even identify it, but it was magical to me because it was like you guys were so on it and so independent and so knowing exactly. There was no confusion, there was no chaos. Everybody was extremely clear. And I think even when Frank was working with you guys, there was so much of like focus, clarity, and very clear path of what we were doing in that room. That's how I felt. Before, let's think about it, take me back before things shifted to this point where we are today. What did your day-to-day feel like when you were running the business, but the numbers just weren't making any sense at all? The science of getting rich teaches that wealth begins as a shift in thinking, not really tactical. So I want you to paint a picture, exactly where you are right now. And I want you to take me back to before things were really shifted for you. And what did your day-to-day feel like? If you can think about what did your day felt like when you were running the business, Becky, but the numbers just weren't making any sense to you?
I would feel frustrated. I would feel stupid. I would feel like, why don't you know where the numbers are? In the past, I was a great liar. I would tell my accountant, yeah, I understand. I didn't know anything. But it was just, I didn't know how to even ask them these questions. Like, I still don't really understand. But it was just, I guess for me, it's like how to read a P&L the right way, how to know, go off the balance summary, which I do now. And it was I should have known. I mean, it's just frustrating for as long as I've been doing it. I should have known, but I flew off the seat of my pants for a long, long time.
But you don't know what you don't know either. You know?
Well, I know, but I should have known.
And you for so long just had to do it and figure it out. And she did a great job. The fact that it was as successful as it is with not knowing is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And now being able to see where we are after like really diving in, it's amazing how much that information like makes every day better and easier and just like more peaceful in a way.
Almost, yeah.
Well, and I think too, like, it's just you. Like, just say you were going to hire and
Cash in, cash out.
well, yeah, I mean, you could lie to yourself because it was just you. And, you know, and I think that bringing us on, you felt that pressure to kind of, okay, I really got to get this right because now I have partners in this.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
So,
yeah. I mean, were there moments where you felt like no matter how hard you worked, you couldn't really get ahead?
Yeah, at times, yes. Yeah, but I've always had this. You just keep going. You just keep going. It will come. Don't ask me how, and a lot of it, I was behind the chair so much that I wasn't taking the time to look at the numbers. I was looking at daily numbers, and that's what I went for. And part of it was because, you know, I worked many hours behind the chair. So I thought the more I worked, the harder I worked, the more money that would come in. And it does work, but at the same time, you know, it's been a eye opener pulling myself out sometimes. You know.
It's a perfect entry for all of you because what you just said is gold. You said, I knew I should have, I knew I could have, but I couldn't because I was doing so many hours behind the chair. So it was like being in that forest we were talking about.
Right.
And so Waddles described moving from a competitive mind to a creative mind, from scarcity to possibility. This episode is sponsored by Salon Cadence, the only global advisory network helping salon and spa and med spa CEOs scale to 7 and 8 figures without a burnout. This is not a do-it-yourself program. This is do it with you and for you. From profit-first system to team-run leadership. First, we fix the numbers, then we create the wealth, then we focus on CEO mindset, and we build the process with your team to give you the ultimate freedom to become the true CEO and visionary you are. We have helped thousands grow widely successful for freedom-driven companies in beauty, wellness, and regenerative medicine. If you're ready to grow, scale, and live a wealthy life, visit saloncadence.com. Now, one of the most important things that you can invest in and not do it yourself, I highly recommend mysalonbooks.com. Salon owners that are tired of never knowing if you're actually profitable or where your money is going, on what your money is doing for you or against you. The team at My Salon Books takes the stress off your plate. They are specialized in salon booking, providing real-time insight and financial clarity so you can focus on what you do best, running a thriving salon. Here at Salon Cadence, we recommend mysalonbooks.com. It is the only bookkeeping management that utilizes the profit first the right way. So go to mysalonbooks.com to learn more and get free evaluation of your own books. Was there any specific moment where something really clicked, because Becky, you and I are practicing, and by the way, I can't wait until you guys are going to be here in Sarasota because all of you are going to be going through the club with Gila. But all of us have been practicing Wallace mindset for 2 years now. It's been a process, right, of getting there. And so was there any specific moment where something clicked, where you stopped feeling like you were fighting for survival and started believing that something is much bigger was possible for you?
I would have to say that when we lost all of four or five stylists. Four. And I thought, oh boy. But inside, I was searching for that great team. And to lose them, I had accomplished getting a fabulous team that you could be relaxed. You weren't on edge. And yes, did it financially cost? But I don't think with all of us working with such a great team, I mean, I think now it would be like, nope, can't have them. They can't ruin the great team we have already. So I think being comfortable, and I don't know, I feel very safe. You know, I don't feel like I need to walk on needles or, you know, with these, it's just been really, I don't want to say relaxing, but it's been where I feel like you can move forward and not have to be on guard, I guess.
Well, and from an outsider's perspective, like where, like you asked when it clicked that you needed to do this, or it's like finally working, from an outsider watching, like going through that loss of a team and getting hit with that financial, like, and I won't say mistake because nothing's a mistake because here we are now, but we had to go through that learning lesson of, oh, wait, we didn't budget properly. Like, go and take a loss to see how we three now can come together and look at it. Yeah. It's a huge win because our communication after that now is better than it's ever been because we all have awareness of what we can't do moving forward in a new way. I think that sometimes those big losses like provide you with those moments that you can really see like, okay, that's never going to happen again. Thank goodness. Like, and if it does, now we can talk about it and not just be like, oh, we're making it, you know, like we just had to get through that. But now we can have some control in that. And I think just that moment happened right with you guys coming in and doing that. And so we have so much more awareness of what that looks like and how to do it properly. So well, I think that's been really valuable.
Absolutely. And I think it allowed Amy and I, who, you know, have not been doing this, you know, we've been here for 13 years, 15 years, but not the understanding of the business from how Becky understood it, obviously. But going through that allowed us to really get a better understanding of that aspect of the business. You know, going through all the financial things, it was like, okay, it's almost like you learn through mistakes kind of thing. And it was like, okay, this is a great time for Amy and I to really learn because these are the things that we need to improve on. So you know, yes, like it sucks losing, you know, people and going through those hard times, especially financially, but what the outcome and what the things, you know, the good things that happen on the other side of it. I mean, it brings us to where we are now and we know what we need and we know what we don't need. So,
yeah.
In terms of cultures and numbers, when people always say, you know, people leave because of culture, they don't leave because of money, or people leave because, I mean, there's just so many reasons why people would leave. I mean, there's a reason for everything. People die, people move, people go through some changes, and but at the end of the day, there's like certain elements that every part of a team needs to exist, and that is significant and transactional. We all know that now. So I'm looking at I want to say the evolution of the three of you as partners. If you can look backwards into, again, a couple years ago, where you didn't know then what you know now, and going forward, if you could have given an advice to anyone, because I look at you guys in a very high regards, right? The evolution of the three of you. What are the things that really clicked and shifted at one point where you became so united, okay? Because even when you lost quite a bit of transactional significance, right, with 4 staff members, serious staff members, but you became so much more profitable and your top line revenue has grown. And as a matter of fact, at the end of the day, you are so much more profitable than you were when you were with them. When did it click to you?
I think it's still clicking sometimes.
Yeah.
I I have to say the coaching with Salon Cadence helped a lot, helped an awful lot. The accountability was huge. Instead of, I can't get it, just, the accountability was great. Just learning, more and more of, about our P&L, about that. But what is being beneficial for us? What's working, what's not working? Just get rid of it. And if we don't know, we'll find out. I mean, it's okay to say, I've been doing this forever, but I just don't know. I just don't know. And it's awesome to have them to just, well, you're a lot younger. What do you think? What do you,
Yeah.
versus just me, I think there's so much more that they can give than I can give,
Well,
honestly.
And like for me personally, the big click was just having Frank as a mentor. Like he, for me, changed everything. Like having him as our mentor just.
Why? So what was it that?
Well, I think
You can't fool him.
No, you can't fool Frank. But he also sees each of us and our roles very well and almost makes us feel like, at least me, like feel okay and empowered in my role and Becky in her role and Amy in her role. And I have to remember sometimes that, this is my I need to stick with this. This is my responsibility. And yes, y'all are here to help support, or this is your role and we're here to support, versus like, I got to get it all figured out.
Yeah.
With Becky, like we just got to get it all figured out. You know what I mean? He organizes even us, because y'all know Frank. I mean, he's all about the organization. He organizes us. So
yeah. Well, and he made us really set that, like, what our personal goals and intentions are, because I don't think we ever had a real communication about like what my expectation is of my role in this business in the future, and what she sees of us. I think we had our own internal expectations, and then we felt like we were constantly letting ourselves down because we weren't showing up in the way that we needed to, and that like led to frustrations in a lot of ways, and we were not communicating. And with Frank, like even just me now getting on the calls and doing that with him has been so amazing for our motivation together as a team and our communication. So much better, because we have a clear idea of who we are in this business, and it's not an expectation of what she thinks we're supposed to be doing. We've communicated what we want to do, and I think that has been really valuable.
And I think he helped bring that out in us, and helped us learn how to communicate that with each other, instead of thinking, well, I think Becky thinks I'm supposed to do this or supposed to do that. And, and then holding us accountable for it too. Like that's the other side of it, is in saying, okay, well, now what are you going to do? And how are you going to, follow through with that? And so
I love that, because it's totally an emotional proof of what you're talking about, not just a financial proof. With this podcast or our show, it's Living a Profitable Life show, we're going to bring you so many great guests and lessons and teachings. So it's really is wonderful to have our partners, sponsors that helping us make this possible for everyone. But it is you who are going to make us better. So I'm asking you to always comment and let me know, how was this episode? Was it helpful? What else would you like to learn? What else would you like to see? It's predicted within the next few years, this industry, this beautiful beauty industry around the world, is going to be growing by 8 to 10% incremental. That means opportunities to grow, to develop, to anything you want to be in this world. The thing is, the more you subscribe and share it with your friend, the more I can make this podcast be the best place for you. Any subject that you find is necessary, let us know. So please subscribe and help us get to at least 1,000 downloads. Once we get there, we'll celebrate. Right. And I'd love for you to walk me through in your business, what does it actually look like now? Not just the numbers, but how does it feel to run it on a daily matter now?
I have to say, for me, it feels a lot clearer for me. I'm one who is a good micromanager. Just got to get it done. But it's also now that things are kind of, what Joey does, what Amy does, what I do. If, there is no problem with me saying, oh God, I can't do this, or I need help, or, we got to do this or some. It's very peaceful and trustworthy for me. And that's huge for me. I mean, it just is but it's like I can vent, I can do whatever, but we still have stuff we have to do. And we're working towards a goal that we all are working towards. And we know we want to grow more stylists. We want to grow more apprentices. And I think that is we're more focused on getting to the same thing. That's what I think is.
Yeah, that big picture,
The big picture isn't so fuzzy.
We've talked about the big picture, I feel like, a lot, but I think a little bit. We're getting more and more clarity with each other all the time on what that looks like. And, versus, coming into work every day and going, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing today,
Well, I think that the minutia can feel really productive. Like, I think Becky showing up for work every day before she had this team and it being like, okay, I know what my grind needs to look like because I know what my daily numbers are and I need to hit this quota and I need to feel really good about it. And that's going to make me feel like I'm moving my business forward. But what I hear you guys saying is that it's actually taking the intentional time to have good, clear communication, good boundaries in your schedule, aligning your big picture vision. Because when you actually make the time for the things that seem like they're fruitless, then it unlocks all of the opportunities for you in your future. And then you're even really saving time, right? Because you're like, all right, instead of Becky, Amy and Joey all doing what they think is the most important. And sometimes that crosses over and you guys are doing double work. Now you're all working towards a common goal. And like what Joey said, your zone of genius is, what your area is. And that makes your business run more efficiently and that allows you to become scalable. So yes, the minutia feels productive. You feel productive in the moment. But if you don't make the time to do what y'all are doing, then you don't get to actually move forward big picture. You're just stuck in that day to day feeling like you're productive without actually moving the needle forward.
I mean, it's not true because, it's so true what you're saying, Nicole, right now, because there's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be business that are up and down, and there's always going to be challenges. But as long as you work together and you have clarity and you get the clarity further down, it's easy to navigate. I mean, at anything, and if you think about it, what does really building wealth means to you now that it's really becoming real?
I guess for me, I would say we're pre-planning. We have our meetings done, our shareholder meetings. It's pre-booked. It's not just running by the seat of our pants like we need to have a meeting or this, or oops, we forgot to put a meeting. We are consistently meeting and I feel like we're on the same page. I mean, we're all, got the engines going, and I think with us focusing on where the end, we're just going to manifest it. It's just going to come. And we might have to do some adjusting here and there, but I think we've been doing that for a while, but there's trust. There's a good trust here.
Yeah.
And everybody, it's kind of, I guess, like a relationship in a sense. It's like, okay, you can't, well, I can't. Well, what can we do to grow each other too? How can I help? How can they help if I can't or whatever? I think it's a lot more vocal.
Yeah.
We're a lot more vocal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to say this because I don't want to hurt your feelings, but there's a way to say it where I just need some help,
I think all of our ideas of like wealth outside of the business are very different. And I think that we all know what that looks like in a way for each other, like whether it's family or business or personal. But we also want to grow and build the wealth within the business, because our goal would be that like it doesn't rely on what we do every day. Like I think as a service provider, I want to build wealth for the community that we've created so that it's not dependent on my hands, and I want like us to be able to have the machine behind the scenes that has created this wealth for other people too, and it and then that just provides to our our life too.
I mean, I think a lot of that is looking like ahead into the big picture and being able to create a place that that just runs, that we've created, like you said, that kind of backbone and structure for a place that just helps these girls grow. I mean, I think that, at the end of the day, we just want to grow stylists and we want, to create stylists that make women feel good about themselves and feel beautiful every day. So having like that well-oiled machine that can just do that. And that's a constant work in progress right now, but that's okay, because one day, it'll get there. And
I think that, when I'm listening to you guys and you're so proud, and I love that. And you're amazing. I mean, the three of you, the women, I mean, just, how much watching you right now is so beautiful. But there's something that you just said. This episode is sponsored by Forest Salon Software, the all-in-one solution designed to help salon, spa, med spa owners really deliver with confidence and really design and drive their company to success. Forest isn't just a booking system. It is your machine that will help you grow your company with smart marketing and real-time reporting, staff performance tracking, and world-class support. And I mean world-class support, because I wouldn't even recommend Forest if they didn't have a world-class support. Now, so whether you're scaling to 7 figures or streamline your operation or need to fix things and tighten things up, Forest can help you make smarter decisions and deliver the luxury experience that your clients and your members really need. If you're ready for a software that is all in and grows with you and support you for a truly team-run company, just visit forest.com and discover why thousands of salons trust Forest. And mention Salon Cadence and you'll get a perk. This episode is sponsored by Vish, the smartest color management system for profitable salons. Vish tracks your color usage, reduces waste, and helps you charge accurately for all color services, so you can protect your profit and grow with confidence. You know that we are all about profit and how we live a profitable life by design. You can definitely make it so easily, and I've seen it, the actual results on the P&L. Vish makes it happen. Now join thousands of salons using Vish to scale smarter. Head to getvish.com and see the difference for yourself. Joey, that is so profound. And Amy, you touched base on that too. And I'm keeping Miss Becky in the middle, because I know she will feel the same way that I feel right now, because you were talking about wealth outside. We all have our own wealth dreams, and each and one of them, success might be different to what it means to us, but the impact. And what I love about it is that you touched about how much you care about the community that you're building. And so the question would be, who else or whose other lives have you changed or impact because you did yours, because you did put the time in, because you did find out what's your purpose, because your partnership, how did that impact family, your relationship among you, or your team?
I kind of think it impacted the team a lot.
I think so,
because there's open, if I'm not, Amy's here, Joey's here, it's helped. As for me, it's like there's a place for if they need to talk or vent or whatever, it's all on me.
Well, and I think it's also, I think, we do have a wonderful group that we have right now, but I think, I hope, they have said as such, but I think we have a group of girls that feel like they are in a place where they can create opportunities for themselves. Single moms that are not afraid to do things, to go out and make a living on their own and buy a house and, do that. And we've got mom of 4 who, is kicking ass with 4 kids under 7, like.
Yeah. Well, and one that is making more than anyone in her family's ever made. Like,
yeah.
in their life.
Ever made.
Yeah.
What an amazing thing to be able to create, and someone that we could see moving forward with in the future because of how much value she feels here, and not just even the girls, it's like the people that come and sit in our chair every day. We're so fortunate with that. Like, it's such a blessing, really, but I think we've created that for sure. I really do.
So, I mean, like you said before, like, everyone's idea of wealth, outside of here is different, but our girls are here because they see that the opportunity for it just as much as we do, as the people running the business, they're coming in every day and they're happy to come in every day because they know what can be accomplished for them and they're working towards something that can be accomplished for them that a lot of the world doesn't even think that people in our industry can do, and it's kind of foreign if you're not in this industry. So
well, it's certainly elevating that norm, because we often talk about it how 75% of general businesses are not profitable. And so if they're not profitable, they're not really living a profitable, rich life. And you are in the top, probably, I would say, 2% who not only profitable, but you live this rich life and you enable your team to do the same thing. And so looking at moving forward, and Amy, I love what you said, how you don't want the business to rely on your hands. And we're not talking about Becky hands. We're talking about 3 architects here, okay? So you're moving towards building the education system that will enable everybody to live a profitable life and stepping into the role of an architect. What does it mean for the next version of this business? What does it mean?
I think the way I see it is creating a business that is known for training, structuring, growing. That's starting there. You'll get your best opportunity. I want that to be just known. That's the way we are. It's not just, well, how many clients you have when you go there. No, it's knowing that they're going to take their time to put into me and care enough about me because they want to see 6 figures. They want to really grow. And just to be known in our community for really growing.
And not showy or, I think it's kind of a quiet success that I really value. And does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, it's not showy at all, but it shows, like people see it, and the ones that know. And I love that. I really do. And then going off of what you said, Ronit, just what do we see the next version of? I think from Joey and I's perspective is creating a legacy of what her goal and her vision has been from the beginning, which is why Joey and I are even still here, because we know exactly, and it's been very clear from the very beginning, from the day that I started 15 years ago. I knew exactly who Becky was because she said it then, and it hasn't changed. It's evolved, but her goal is to teach and educate and create stylists that really have a foundation of knowledge in the industry that are just good. And it really does show that that's what she wants. And I think for us,
that's huge.
Yeah,
Me hearing that, because I took her with. I mean,
I've been right here beside her. She's moving here.
I'm not going anywhere, and I'm sitting right here on this couch.
Yeah, and I'm kicking ass too.
Yes,
so
you are taking names.
Yeah.
I made enough mistakes to think, I think that person would be great, as to where these 2, it was all right here.
Yeah.
I didn't go up here. I just felt they are so trustworthy. They care so much. and it wasn't like, well, this here grounds this up here.
Mm.
And so it was like my intuition was, and yes, maybe it took a little while, but I still feel grounded with both of them. Not like I have to take on this. It's like they'll take it on. They're not sitting there waiting for me to go, okay, should we, it's like, go for it, and I trust it. That's the key to me, that it runs so well.
If another salon owner is listening right now to you three, right now,
They're
sitting
so
in
jealous. They're so jealous
Yes,
right now.
but if they are sitting exactly in the same seat you were sitting 2 years ago, what's the one thing you want her to feel?
Me?
Anyone?
I never wanted to open a salon, ever. So I never thought I could. But so being in that, it was like, okay, this is what I have to do. I just have to do this. And I did it, but I did it from a mentality of behind the chair. I want education. I want them to feel like they can do anything. And that's what I've always worked for. Amy picked it up. But mine, I think, and I'm hoping that they feel like it's always been about growing, feeling awesome in this profession, that there is 6 figures in this profession. And, the busier people are, the happier they are. The more money they make, the happier they are. And that's what I always thought is they need to experience 6 figures, but not end up working themselves to death. And I just feel very lucky, so if I died tomorrow, this would just continue.
Well, and I
So,
think,
yeah, go ahead, Joey. Yeah.
sorry. I just think that, if anyone is listening that was in the position that we were 2 years ago, I feel like it's just surround yourself with good people that really want and see your vision, and that they don't even have to know everything. Like I came into this business not knowing nothing about this business, and it wasn't necessarily about wanting, to run a salon. It was just something about Becky that I was like, this is a girl I want to work for. I just think, surround yourself with good people that are really like your work wives, that
Yep.
really see what you want to see and are willing to work with all your ups and downs and disagreements and agreements and all the things.
And find the right room to be in with like coaching, and put yourself in a position with people that know better than you. Because we definitely don't know it all. And every growth that we've had as a team has been because we've been in the right room. And in so many ways as a business, and so many ways personally. And each of those business opportunities of growth and education and all of that has led to so much personal growth for all 3 of us in so many ways. And
the personal growth is just as important as the
And
moving on when it's the right time, or you may not realize it's the right time at the time, but moving on from things that led us to you guys, it's like we had a great experience with the previous opportunity that we were in, but it wasn't the right thing for us because we needed something more, and finding the right room to be in really has helped us all 3 grow.
I have to ask. So when I met Ronit, I was in the right room, right at the right time. But I didn't end up knowing what job she was going to offer me, because in the interview, Ronit, she's just like spitting out ideas, trying to see what's going to stick,
We know.
Listen, I'm already excited.
She was so feeling me out. And so she's trying to figure out what I'm capable of and what I'm interested in, right? Because she doesn't want to work for somebody and work with somebody that doesn't align with her. But what really stuck out to me and what really impacted me in making the decision, I just celebrated 5 years at Salon Cadence, by the way. 15 though. I heard 15. That's impressive. That's my next goal. What stuck out was her story, you know, and the people that she works with, like y'all. I would never have the opportunity to work with such incredible women with such amazing dreams and vision and impact if I didn't hear Ronit's story. Like if she wouldn't have hit me with that story, there's no way I would have been anywhere near this room. So what was it about Becky? Because Joey was like, I just wanted to work for somebody like Becky. But what had to resonate with you? What did you have to hear to know, oh, this is it. This is going to be what I invest my life's work in?
I think for me, it was,
Be honest.
well, I mean, y'all know it's one, her authenticity. What you see is what you get. Like there is no BS when it, you know, this is she's not apologetic about it either. But I love that. I think that I mean that in the most wonderful, you know, very compliment type of way. So I don't know, she had an air about her where I was like, okay, this seems like somebody that I could get along with. I could, you know, and I think she had an idea for me when I came on more than I did. And like my role in the company, I think she kind of knew where she wanted me to be before I did. And so, you know, it was like, okay, well, let's see how this goes. But it was just very comfortable. I will never forget our first time meeting. Yeah. And you just were like, just easy breezy going. And you asked me about my background and everything. And I was like, okay, it just felt like going to, you know, having lunch with a friend kind of thing. It was just very easy. And, you know, and then I found out later more about her and how she, you know, got into the business and into the industry, and her family background in this industry is incredible. And
That's the story.
yeah. And then, you know, how she started her salon, and, you know, the fact that me and Amy are even here as partners of hers, and the things that she's gone through with past partners. It's just, you know, it's like,
I would venture to guess that, Becky, the people that left your salon, you didn't have that kind of connection with.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
It's important for people to hear, because how easy it is to be in the room with the women that you're in the room with right now, Becky. Mm-hmm. That's because you put yourself out there, and there was no resistance, and you knew when you hired those other people that they weren't going to be the right fit for your company, and they weren't going to be the right fit for your vision. I bet you were like, I'm the problem. I feel like this is when I talk to owners, they're like, well, they don't like something about me, but I could be better at this, or I could have communicated that better. And then you work to try to make that person fit, when all along that was never, no matter what you threw at it, it wasn't going to work out anyway. But immediately you and Joey knew that you had such good energy and vibes, and we're going to work great together, right? People need to hear that. Don't hire somebody for the sake of needing to hire somebody.
No. Yeah. She had a passion for helping people. She has a passion.
Yes.
She has a 3-year, I mean, she's in engineering school.
Yeah.
And then she comes, you know, and she's coming here, and I'm like, we got this. You're going to get it. And she did it from here and not here.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of passion, and that when the passions, it just brings in the money. People feel it. And when her apprentices, they feel that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel, when I'm sitting in her chair, I feel the connection that people have with Joey. And that is the difference in bringing somebody up to your level. It's like, I feel it here.
Yeah.
I wanted it for maybe a few in the past, but it wasn't connection. There wasn't that.
Yeah, you can't force it. It's the competitive mind. You gotta withdraw back, and you can't force it. It's gotta come. You know, it's not always a garden of roses. There's always going to be. What Nicole said about the story. I have learned from Nicole so much. I've grown because of Nicole. No, seriously. I mean, I'm only 2 years older than her, and I've learned so much. and I've learned so much from her. Yes. I mean, you're right. It's all about who you are in the room and who is willing to walk the fire with you both ways. It's got to be both ways. And I love what you're saying. So I guess where I'm going to take it all, first of all, I just want to commend you, the three of you, because it's just so good to share that positive to everybody out there that is listening right now and want to have this uniqueness. Just know that it's possible. It's more possible than it's not possible, but it is doing the deep work of listening to your story, know your story, tell your vision, share your vision, and find the people that want to share theirs with you at the end of the day. And so if you could have a bullet board and it will say something, each and one of you have a turn to say, and you can have an impact, anything that comes to your mind. Nicole, maybe you ask that question better than I do.
Imagine that you guys have a billboard.
A billboard, that's it.
Somewhere, honestly, anywhere that you would want, but imagine busy highway, busy intersection, and you get to design it. You get to have it say something that you want to say, a way to reach people. What would you have yours say? And each of you can have your own billboard.
Well, whenever I read this question, I was like, what? But it just
was like, please don't ask that. Here we are.
But it just came to me, and I think that they'll absolutely know as soon as I say it. But all I can see is words. I can't see like pictures or anything like that. But if I could say anything, it's that you deserve to be seen, and whatever that leads to, I think that the right people will see it and come. So yeah.
I love that you said that, because I kind of feel like same when I read that question. I was like, Becky, you're answering that question. Because I didn't know the answer.
Oh.
But it was like, when you asked that, it kind of came to me, and it's very similar to Amy. It's like I see words, but I guess I say this to a lot of people, and I say it to myself. I have it written on a Post-it on my mirror, and it says, you deserve all the good things that come your way. And I think I tell myself that all the time, or I try to tell myself that, or I try to tell my kids that, but shouting that to other people so that they know it too. Like, you deserve all the good things that come your way, and feeling worthy of those things. So yeah, that'd be
I think at first when I was like, oh, for God's sake. What would I, because I see these billboards, and I was like, you know what? It's like, it's up to you. You got this. Elleven Salon. Simple. It's up to you, but you got this. You can do this. And it almost to me is like, well, what's up to me? Oh, I got this. Oh, what? I'm sure there are a lot of people like, what? But to me, if you have this passion, you're in school or whatever you want to do, if you want to help people, whatever, creatively, it will happen.
It will happen.
It will happen. Be patient, just trust the process.
It will happen. Becky, I've never asked Nicole that question, because we always ask everybody else. So Nicole, I'm putting you on the spot.
I gotta hop on to another call. I'm so sorry. Well, first I just want to say that to all of our listeners, can you see that each one of their billboards kind of has the same message?
Yeah.
That's part of the culture.
Yes, absolutely.
That says a lot. It's for you all. It's all about saying you're worth the investment. You're worth everything that you're working towards. Like, you deserve it. You deserve that, and your dream can come true. You just need to focus on it and give yourself the grace along the way, when it doesn't work. And I love hearing your guys' billboards. And Becky's, I kind of pictured it being like one billboard, and then it had like a tiny little sign attached to it, and that sign had a tiny little sign attached to it with all her disclaimers.
Yeah, she won't.
I guess mine. I've always had this thought of, there isn't anybody you couldn't learn to love once you heard their story. I used to have that on a piece of paper and I'd put it in my pocket and I would take it with me and just take it into my interactions with strangers. But honestly, each one of your stories deserves to be heard. I wish we could have somebody on our podcast every second of every day that could share
I
their,
was just thinking that.
you know,
I was, yeah.
just like how you deserve to be seen, you deserve to be heard, that you're going to reach somebody in this podcast episode that needs to hear exactly what y'all were saying. And it's going to touch them and it's going to resonate with them. And it's that way with every single person that you meet. And so it just reminds me to appreciate the unique perspective and story that each person has, just like you guys. So that would be my billboard.
I love it. And I think we're just going to end that one with superpowers. So let's see. What's your superpower, Joey?
Oh, see, this is the one that I actually knew. I was like, I know my. So it's going to sound weird, but my superpower is procrastination. Because for the longest time, it is, I know it sounds strange. So for the longest time, I was like, my biggest weakness is procrastinate. I procrastinate. I'm a last minute person. This is my biggest weakness. So a few years back, we were at something and at a little conference or whatever, and we talked about superpowers, and I was like, I'm turning my weakness into my superpower. And so that's my superpower, because yes, I do wait to the last minute, and yes, that is something that I have to work on. But that's also when I am at my best. Like I can rock some stuff out at the last minute. And I've decided to turn my biggest weakness into my superpower. And that's what I do.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I
love that. Somebody asked me one time what gets me out of bed every morning, and I said anxiety. And I'm like, it's because I'm like so stressed about all the things.
I thought she was gonna say Ronit anxiety.
It's the same thing. It's like, I know I need to get this done. I need to be productive. Like me being ready to tackle the day. It's like that anxiety of, girl, don't be lazy, get up. But it pushes you, and the procrastination pushes you forward. And so I like that. I like that answer a lot.
Yeah, it's funny, because I'm thinking back. I'm going to take a little bit of conversation on me right now. I would say I get anxiety of not having enough time in a day. Like I always say to Bill, why there's only 24 hours in a day? Why can't there be 100 hours in a day? And I always tell him, my grandmother, she was a Cancer. I love her. She's my favorite person in the whole wide world. And right. And she said to me, the best invention, and I don't agree, by the way, the best invention, she said, is the bed. Like not electricity, not the wheel, a bed. She loves sleeping. Sleeping was the best thing for her. But for me, I would say, is there any way that we don't have to have the night to go to sleep? I don't want to sleep. So my anxiety is going to sleep. Like Nicole is the other way around.
FOMO. Like Ronit has the worst case of FOMO I've ever seen in my life.
Major FOMO.
All the time. She doesn't want to miss a drop of information. Yeah. And my fear is being invited. Like I don't want to be. No, I'm just kidding. Don't invite me.
You're invited to the room. She's got anxiety. Becky, what about you?
What's your superpower?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I think that is believing in something so strong, and then just kind of like, and I always thought, well, if they can do it, why can't I? Like hairdressers, like big, and I'm like, well, if they can do it, why can't I? It was like grit, maybe. Yeah, that's a good one. My stubborn grit. Like, I can do this, and don't say no.
I will sell the bed. I will sell the armoire. It's so it's right.
I'm pretty stubborn inside.
Yeah.
And I don't say it. I won't say it. Now sometimes Joey will hear it, but then it's like, this kid, no, this, yeah. This can do it. You know, I might not do it about these, but it's like, yes, it can be done.
Yeah.
Your superpower is that you're a believer.
You're a believer.
Yeah.
You believe in people.
I do believe.
You are such a believer. You believe it can be done.
She
Can
has,
be done.
she has such a big heart for people, and she like every time we say it, she rolls her eyes too. Like but she really does have such a big heart for people, and you know, you really do. You're a believer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy, what about you, Amy?
This is hard. I feel like people are so good at telling me my superpower, but I'm just like, whatever. But I think that my superpower is the ability to see the light and positivity, even when I'm really not there, when I'm struggling. So, and being able to put that out for people. So just bringing people to see the light, I think. Yeah.
Being positive. I love it. Well, girls, thank you so much for this. This has been really great. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Shoot, that was easier than I thought it was going to be.
You guys did amazing. Well, you're natural. First of all, it's just so so authentic. You know, your energy is so good. You guys look beautiful. You know, maybe we can have you guys do. I think this will be very inspiring when in Sarasota. Would you do a little skits for us?
Like just do this, but there.
I would like, as a matter of fact, it would be nice if we do a little interview in front of everyone. Yeah.
I think it's important for people to see shared vision, because it's the number one thing that nobody wants to take the time to focus on.